So guys, back home, just thought I'd record a quick intro to this latest video, simply because it does contain quite a bit of footage of taxidermy. Now personally, I believe that animals are much better alive than stuffed and mounted in display cases. However, what we have to do bear in mind is that it was a different time. Back in the day when these animals were stuffed, there was very much a popular movement towards collectibles, and unfortunately the animals themselves were collectibles. Not nice. It's happened, it's part of history. We may not agree with it nowadays. Certainly believe there's elephant tusks in the video. I certainly believe they are much better in the elephant, but it's happened. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to respect the animals now going forward and make sure that we look after them. On with the video.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? So we're at Wollaton Hall, Nottingham. It's home to the Nottingham Industrial Museum. It is also home to quite a famous building, Wollaton Hall. You might recognise that if you are a fan of certain comics, DC Comics in particular. It was actually used as Wayne Manor in the 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises. So Wollaton Hall's free to come to. The parkland's free to visit. It's home to a wild fallow deer park. So we'll have a look, see if we can see any of those soon. Just heading through the Courtyard Cafe at the moment. I believe the food's supposed to be very good here. It won't know until we actually try it. But we'll have a quick walk through. And you can see the cafe there behind me. And head through the building out to the main parkland now. So it is Sunday and it's just 11 o'clock, so it has just opened. Now I've just exited the courtyard, and just over to my left is the building itself. Now this is not the front facade of it, which is probably the famous one. This is one of the sides by the looks of it. So that is Wollaton Hall over there. Quite an impressive building. You can see it's a central block, three floors going up. And right at the top there is a room which was used for entertaining and affords absolutely brilliant views over the landscape, which, if I quickly spin round, you'll see go for miles and miles and miles. Absolutely stunning views. Wouldn't have wanted to live here at all, would you? So we're going to, me and you, we're going to make our way up, have a look, see what we can see at the top there. So we're making our way along to have a look at the front of the building, which will be the famous facade that you'll have seen in the aforementioned film, The Dark Knight Rises. Wayne Manor, eh? Who would have thought I'd be at Wayne Manor? Not me. And who would have thought, actually, Wayne Manor ain't in Gotham. It's in Nottingham. I suppose we both end in So, obviously, a lot of these buildings have outbuildings and courtyards. There's a botanic garden just down the left there. Looks like it's closed at the moment, though. So, can't go in there. But, quite surprising, actually. An old country house like this, free to visit. So, catch up with you in a moment. So here we are on the approach. Now this probably looks a lot more familiar to you. There's Wayne Manor, heading up the driveway, straight up to the building there. Now you can see the prospect room at the top there with those massive windows to give all these views out to, well, being so close to the city of Nottingham, you'd expect to see some sort of skyline, but yeah, I can't see anything. And yeah, quite an impressive building. I do have some information about it. I shall get out of my pocket shortly and read. So, Wollaton Hall started being built in 1850. And it was built for Sir Francis Willoughby, and is believed to have been designed by the Elizabethan architect Robert Smithson, with a Y. Smithson had completed Longleat, famous for the safari park, which is featured on TV. So I was quite a few people walking past. Quite a fantastic lawn there to sit and have your sandwiches on. So yeah, the finances used to fund the building of this hall very nearly bankrupted him. He got most of his money from coal mining. The building was completed in 1588 and opened to the public in 1926. As I mentioned before, it's home to the Industrial Museum, which is in the courtyard down there. So, as I said, you might recognise it as Wayne Manor. Now, this building consists of a central block with 3 stories in the middle there. Right at the top is a prospect room. There are towers at each corner, with decorative features rising above the roofline, which you can see those balustrades and the decorative chimneys there. All very, very, very ornate. Now, there are, some people call them gargoyles, but gargoyles have a very, very specific purpose. They are water spouts. These ones to me just look like grotesques. Bear with and I'll get some closer shot. So just there, around about the centre of the screen there, you'll be able to see some of the gargoyles. Though, as I said, I think they may be grotesques, because gargoyles have a very specific purpose, and that is to act as water spouts. Came from French word, gargouille, which basically means gargle. And they got the name from the water gargling out of her mouth, or spurting out of her mouth, which, as they're halfway down the building, I would say it's unlikely that actually happens, except for maybe on those ones over there, as they are actually on what looks like the edge of a roof. So another point of interest is that the basement, actually down in the ground there, of this massive building, was actually cut out of a rock that it stands on, excavated quite deep. Now back in them days, you have to imagine they didn't have JCBs or caterpillars or anything like that to hurl that rock out. It would have all had to have been done by hand. No mean feat indeed. Right, so now I'm going to have a bit of an explore of the house. Don't know if I'll be able to film in there. I'll try. We'll see what happens. And then we'll have a walk around the gardens and see maybe if we can spot some of these deer that it's famous for. Catch you in a bit. So just on entering the house, you can see plenty of decorative features. Busts of Greek philosophers. What I would normally say is a door knocker up there. But isn't that decorative? And coat of arms up there. Now that's been carved. And you've got rings here. Look like they're for attaching horses to. But they're actually carved into the stone, so they're just purely decorative. Now again, the view from the house as you're greeting your guests would have been fantastic. There's plenty of pictures hanging on the walls. Fantastic ceiling. Now quite controversial. African elephant tusks. Not sure if these are real or replicas. A lot of people would be upset by seeing that. Kind of agree. Elephants are much better with the teeth in the mouth. Scale model there of the hall. The map. So around here, some examples of taxidermy, even fish. There's all sorts of fish, ranging from pike, with a big teeth eating another fish like Atlantic salmon, grayling and trout. What else have we got here? Other fish I've never heard of. I've heard of chub and bream. Yeah, unfortunately, you have to go back. Oh, that's a bit odd, isn't it? An owl wearing a crown. And an ammonite shell, obviously from the Jurassic period. And more fish. Perch, watch out for those spines, they can be sharp. Trust me, I found out by my mistake. There's these glass cabinets all around this area. Puffer fish down there. And here's some more examples. Turtle shell at the top there. Not sure what type of turtle it would be. Butterflies, skulls. What animals they are, I have no idea. Maybe somebody could tell us. I think that one might be a swordfish there, that long one. With all the spines on the side of its teeth. That's preserved scorpions and spiders, and horned toads, centipedes, spiders. And we've got them even preserved here in, I'm guessing, some sort of brine or alcohol. Stop them from decomposing. Models of hearts and eggs. Great big giant swan up there, taxidermy obviously. More animals, either models or taxidermy or fossils. Fantastic. Up in the roof there, you've got the coats of arms. Hopefully you can see those. Adorned by rifles either side. Okay, so we're going into the bird room now. Obviously this is where taxidermy birds are. Obviously they always look a bit better when they're alive. But these has probably been gone for a long time. No idea if it was natural causes or what. At least preserved for all to see, at least. I'm sure they would look better alive as well. So what's this? A shoe bill. Probably called by the shape of its mouth. One of the oldest natural history specimens in the museum. Don't know. Loads of birds in here. So guys, if you want to find some birds, you know where to come. The great bustard. I've been called one of them a few times. Didn't know it was a bird. Yeah, unfortunately all would look better alive. Especially that big fella there. Very well, going up there. Quite a grand looking staircase. Split off into two, doesn't matter which way you go up because both ways go to the same place. And at the top you've got the disappearing world on the left. Changing planet on the right. Apologies, camera crash there. Interesting fossils. He's a big fella. That's actually a bird. You can see the feathers, the bones. Plenty to see here. Lots and lots. Might not agree with all of it, especially the tusk stone stairs, but so it is. It's a different time. And of course all of these were dead for a long time before they were put on display. This is just one room. There's so much to see. Can't believe it's all free. £5 suggested donation though at the door. Okay, so we've gone into the second part of that room now. And this is where all the scallywags are. Oh, look. There's Chris. Ah, it's a gorilla. Oh, the taxidermy. I'm wondering if we're going the wrong way around, you know. So, from the window of this gallery, we can see miles and miles and miles and miles. And considering it's supposed to be raining all day, it certainly looks like a lot of blue sky out there. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to mow that lawn by hand. It'd take an hour or two, wouldn't it? So finally away from all the dead animals, we're in the salon, which would have been used as a stylish dining parlour 400 years ago. 200 years ago it was extended and elegantly furnished as a sitting room, and 100 years ago it was a place for proud display of the family portraits, some of which are probably still up here. 90 years ago it was a tea room. On the day the hall became a museum, so you can only come in here for your afternoon teas. And in 2012 this room was actually used in the film The Dark Knight Rises. Must have to watch that film again, see if I can recognise it at some point. I suppose if you're using the outside, why not use the inside as well? And plenty of portraits still around the walls. At the moment, there's plenty of places to sit, games to play, along with views over the garden. Absolutely fantastic. Ceiling, ornate, as always in these places. Probably didn't wallpaper as often as we do nowadays either, so that wallpaper is probably very, very old. Or at least a reproduction of something that's very old. Here we are walking around Wayne Manor again, down the other side this time. In out into the gardens. Zoom out a bit. Would appear that the sun's in the wrong place for me. May not give us a good shot of a house at this point, but certainly gives us some good lighting for the gardens there. They're very, very stunning. With all the statues and landscaping going on. And squirrels. Squirrels get everywhere. You can see why we picked it for that film. Certainly the right sort of ambience. Yeah. So we have got preaching the roof right. Ornate staircase there coming down from the main hall. Now you would come out into the gardens. I'm going to go and have a walk up the stairs and have a look what the view would have looked like from up there. Little entrances to the basements down there. Obviously, as I mentioned before, cut out of a rock which the house stands on by hand, as we wouldn't have had JCBs. Other earth moving equipment is available. Oh, that's an interesting doorway there. Don't know where that leads to. Probably just some sort of storage. There goes up to the room which was a tea room there. You can see the careful thought of how we were going to support it. Nice archway to make sure it doesn't collapse. And over there is a view to die for. a beautiful day like this, you can just imagine standing here and just looking out at that for hours. With the yew trees and others. Nothing's really got any foliage yet because it still is only February. But yeah, certainly peaceful here. Somewhere to stop and think. Excuse me. Oh, you can probably see the white building just over there. And have a wander down there and have a look, see what that is. Catch you there in a minute. So here we are at that white building. Not sure what it is. Have a look at this info board here. So it's here by the side of me, and it says it's a camellia house. So camellias would have been grown here. Wonder if there's any actually in there. I can't see much through the window at the moment. But it is pretty. Can't tell if that's ice. Looks like there's ice on the windows. But there is something growing in there. I'd assume that's a camellia.
Shortcut? I don't think it is a shortcut, but
I'll just stop and have a look through the windows. So I'm not sure if it's condensation on this window or ice. It looks like condensation, to be honest with you. But you can see there, hopefully you can see through. All the camellias growing all the way up. And if you look, it is like virtually a big greenhouse. You can see the glass roof up there. Don't think there's any way to get in there at the moment. I think the door's probably locked up. Yep, the door's locked. So can't get in there, which is a shame. And another fantastic view there of the gardens and lakes. They always knew how to use footpaths to their advantage. Now, obviously, it wouldn't have been tarmacked in the day, but it always brings you towards something stunning. You can see there the gardens immaculately manicured, looked after. And there's the actual full size of a camellia house there. It's like a big greenhouse with lots of camellias growing in it. And just poking through the corner there is what we've been calling Wayne Manor. But obviously it is actually the hall. And yeah, there's some funky smells going on around here. Not sure if it's for plants or something else. It seems to be everywhere these smells do nowadays. Probably wacky tobacco. But still. Alright, so we're going to go into the deer park now and see if we can see any deer. So it looks like there's a golf course right next door. And this isn't actually the deer park, it's the formal gardens. Certainly a bit more formal than our garden. It currently has Margot parked in it. Yeah, you can certainly imagine sitting here on a nice summer's day and just relaxing and chilling. So this would have actually been a moat to surround the actual garden and the house to help with the defence of the building. Not very deep, but it wouldn't really have to be, as that wall would cause enough trouble for people trying to climb over it. Just have to show you this, guys, because that's the first one I've spotted this year. Little crocus popping up. Guys, that must mean spring is on the way. Looking forward to that. Guys, I think this is probably a good place to cut this one off now. I think we've had enough of a walk around the hall here in the gardens. Gonna head back towards the car, have a cup of coffee, and head back home. So, no doubt catch you when we get back there. Just for a quick chat about what we've seen here. I'll catch you in a bit, guys. See you now. Ta-da. So, heading back to the car, I've spotted a deer. So I'm going to try and get a photo of it and put it in somewhere in the video. Probably just about here. Let's see if we can get a photo of it.
So guys, quick outro here. So that was Wollaton Hall, out in Nottingham, otherwise known as Wayne Manor. What did I think? Yeah, it was worth a visit. Good, but it was free to get in. Suggested donation of £5 at the main hall door, which, you know, I probably would give myself if I went again. Parking, £5 for the day, so quite reasonable. Disabled get 2 hours for free. Not too happy about all of the taxidermy, but as I mentioned in the intro, it was a different time, so things were different back then. It was the way things were done. Yeah, it's easy enough to find, plenty of parking, nice enough day today. Probably head back in the summer or spring when there's a bit more foliage around and the gardens probably look a little bit better. But you know, that's that video. I think worth a visit. I'd recommend you go and have a look. Even if you don't like taxidermy, just don't go in those rooms. Yeah, so if you liked this video, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me comments. You know, I don't mind comments. I'll try and reply to them all as quickly as I can do. In fact, I will reply to them all, but it may just take a few days depending on how many you get. And, you know, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. See you then. Ta-ra.